All right, still all new 93.7 The Beat, 8 Sounds Real Hip Hop, and home of the Breakfast Club. Good Sunday morning to you. My name is Marcus Sullivan. Welcome to the Face the Beat show, where we talk about community things that are going on in and around the Houston area. Today, this Sunday morning, man, I have Justice Butler in, a film student, homeless advocate, and producer and director of Invisible, a documentary focused on the nationwide epidemic of homeless students throughout colleges and universities. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I got all of that in there.
You sure did. That was really good.
Wow. So there's a couple of things I definitely want to talk about, especially while the weather is changing for our Houston homeless and everything. And I just want to talk a lot about that. But for those who are just tuning in this morning, tell the people about yourself.
Well, real quickly about myself. Actually, I started in radio. In fact, one of the individuals that works in showbiz, Robert Showbiz Mosley, we started radio at a college radio station together.
Okay.
But from there, I lived in L.A. and journeyed back into the city of Houston, which is my town, and I became homeless. I didn't share that with anyone. It was basically something I wound up becoming, and I felt I was responsible to get myself out of it. Now, if it was a matter of life and death, yeah, I'm going to call on my friends. But this is something I thought, I need to get myself out of. It was, whoa. I had never, ever, ever. I've experienced some things in life, but homelessness, whoa.
Let's talk about it. So you're from here.
Yeah. You
left for L.A.
Yep.
And then you came back here, and that's when it happened.
It happened. I worked at Verizon Wireless, and then the call center closed. After some mishaps, I became homeless for about a year and a half. Okay.
For a city of 6 million people, I'm sure every person that's driving has pulled up to a red light and seen somebody in some form or fashion standing at the light with the sign, or drove past an underpass and saw somebody under a blanket or under a box and everything. So imagine, as y'all driving right now, those visuals. How does one get to that point? I'm sure there's a few different circumstances, but in your story, you're working at Verizon Wireless.
Yep. I basically, like I said, the call center closed, and we were so comfortable working at Verizon Wireless. A lot of us didn't even realize it became actually our personal life until the call center closed, and we were lost. Knowing not how to do anything. Yeah, we got a little money and stuff, but like I said, after mishaps, I wound up sleeping in my friend's truck for 30 days. It got towed, so I wound up sleeping in parks.
Let's backtrack, and I want to take the people through the steps, because I've always heard the whole myth of, man, you one paycheck away from this could be you. You know what I'm saying? That's almost facts. I don't even want to say that's a myth for a lot of people. You 2 paychecks away from being done and done, right? You're listening to Justice Butler on the Face the Beat show this morning. We're talking all about homelessness and film and everything about it. But let's dive deep into that, right? You have a job, you have an apartment or a crib or a car, life is okay, you're making it through life. You get one curveball thrown at you. Verizon Wireless or whatever your job that's listening may be shuts down. You go through your hardship. First your tank goes on E. Then the cell phone is due. Then you start making decisions on, and this is me guessing, on what's more important, right?
Correct.
And then you get down to the bank account gets overdrawn.
That, and also, without even realizing it, you go through a depression, of losing your job.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get back out there to a job just like the one you had.
Yeah.
You're talking about when I left Verizon, I was making $20 an hour. So, you go from that and you're trying to find something just like that. And then when it occurs, I'm staying with a friend. She's about to leave. So now it's like, okay, now where am I going to go now? So now I'm just out there to a point where my friend, he says, hey, you can sleep in my truck, he's staying with his girl, so that's going to be a mishap.
But just how do we get there? Because, I look at it and I go, we all got a cousin, a aunt, a mother, a dad, a sister, a brother, a friend, somebody that I can go crash on your couch if it gets that bad.
That is true also. But here's the thing. you know, everybody's life is different. You know, with me, here's the thing with my life. You know, I lost my grandmother at 17, and that's why I even left Houston. Okay, so I was already a lost soul moving to L.A. And when I came back to Houston, that didn't leave me. Okay, now what was there, what my grandmother instilled in me was a very, very giving heart. Now, I'd give you $1 when I didn't have anything. That was my issue right there. I never took care of that person in the mirror. To a point, I think it was, even when I came back, it was the same way. At Verizon, I didn't have to live paycheck to paycheck. I was giving to everybody. Because the way I was balling, you know, I was the CEO at Verizon the way I was, but it was that giving heart again. Oh, the homeless or anything, a friend, oh, you need me? Come on over here. I got you. I got you. Homeless? I would pass them, giving them $20, but not even thinking until it happened to me.
When you left for L.A., I think they call it Skid Row out there. I think that's what they call it out there. Tent City here, or I'm sure places have their different names. But what was your take on, like you said, you never thought it could be you, but like for those people that's listening right now, that's driving, that's pulling up to that intersection, that's seeing somebody right now, what do you, in your opinion, what do you think most people think, or what did you think at the time when you would see something like that?
I saw them as invisible, and without even thinking about it. You know, I had a sign out there I held, and it said, "Never thought I'd be this low," because
say it again.
Never thought I'd be this low.
Wow.
Because I never ever thought that would be me. And then when I became homeless, I realized it could happen to anyone. And even living in L.A., I met a lady that was very well known in New York. We talked. She was a dancer. You know, and that stuck with me. You know, and I realized, well, in L.A., of course, you have a lot of people coming to live that dream. You know, that dream of getting into entertainment. So you have a lot of homeless people out there because of that. Because they reaching for that and they don't get it. And if you don't know anyone, man, it's hard.
Talking to Justice Butler this morning, Sunday morning on the Face the Beat show. Former homeless person, now film student. Take us back to that day. The first day that you realized, homeless. Take us back to that night. Like where am I gonna sleep? Take us to that day.
That day would have been when I was sitting in a park. First, I had to find a place to stay, so I'm riding on the bus, just riding. Then finally, I found a location. It was a park, and in the back was a neighborhood. So I sat at a bench, and I said, "Okay, I'll sleep here." But every second I'm waking up, and you know, and my friends always tease me anyway, because I get paranoid anyway. I watch too much Another 48, so that is an issue anyway. Okay, so now here I'm in the park, and you know, I'm already got that in my, so every second I'm waking up and I'm like, okay, somebody's behind me, you know, so I'm dealing with that. And there was actually a time when that occurred, you know, when I was at a medium, and basically, you know, you have a group of people, you're there, you see them every day, so that's your medium, you take care of each other. Well, it was this guy, we don't know where he came from, over on another side of town, so he basically would try to take over a medium all day, and you don't need to be there all day. So basically, I would get up early in the morning, so I said, hey, I got this, I'll watch this for us. So I was there, 5 in the morning, the guy came trying to force me off the medium, and it came to a point, he grabbed me and drugged me off the medium, over to the other side, and began to choke me. And literally, he was choking me out. I'm literally like, feel myself fading, and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I'm about to die, and I can't even stop it. And I saw a truck pull up, and the motorist came out and said, hey, stop, and he came, you know, but he didn't want to get involved when the police came. And the crazy part, because we had another DA at the time, and even though I had, at the time I just started going to Houston Community College. All right, so I had that ID and my other ID. This man had no ID, but yet when they spoke to the DA at the time, well, they said drop the charges. You
were, your first night as a homeless person, you were going to Houston Community College.
Nah, that wasn't the first night.
Okay, that wasn't, okay. So that was
that was later down the line.
And the moment when you first started to realize, or the moment that you accepted the word, I'm homeless. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure a lot of people are straight denial. Right? How was that? accepting that moment? Yeah.
It was heavy. It was really detrimental. I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Just every part of the lowest you can feel.
Yeah.
In the depth of your life,
Yeah.
I was there. It's like if there was a hell on earth,
Yeah.
that was it for me at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it was.
Did you ever run into somebody while you're out there homeless that you knew? Somebody from school, somebody.
Here's the thing: I did not run into someone homeless, but actually, what saved me was running into a friend while I was out there homeless.
Okay, because I always wonder, God forbid, if I'm that guy standing on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
Westheimer, in the Beltway, and I got the sign because I'm really in need,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody I know or somebody knows me, that's Marcus from the radio station. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you were out there holding that sign, what was the sign? The sign said, I never
thought I'd be this low, or
Yeah.
that was my one that needed
Yeah.
an earth angel. But I had those thoughts like, oh my God, I wonder.
But at that moment, are you almost like I'm at a place where I don't even care. Like I don't care if you know me or not.
By the time I was to a point of holding the sign, I didn't want to hold a sign. I met this guy at McDonald's, and he said, hey, you can hold a sign out here and that could help you.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay. So I stood out there, but I didn't.
Hour on hour.
Yeah, I stood out there like all day just to, really get a change.
Yeah.
And then, I realized though, I wasn't the only one out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was other individuals out there, but they weren't like me.
Yeah.
We were all in the same bucket though.
Yeah.
And I felt that's why it's so hard to help the homeless because, okay, now coming from a working world, I felt my taxes was going to things like helping for the alcohol rehabilitation,
Right.
drugs,
Right.
mental issues,
Right.
the disabled, but yet they were out there homeless like me, and they were in the same bucket as I was. Okay, so I even had an officer said, nobody's homeless out here, you all panhandlers. Where I
Wow.
had to look at him like I beg to differ, and I'd start going off because that's that I've been a taxpayer for so long,
Right.
Attitude in my mind, you
Right.
know. But that is an issue in itself because I'm thinking, okay, why are they out here? I thought my taxes paid.
Pay for the yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Then I really want to get into your films.
Mhm.
For those that see those people standing on their corner or ever wondered when they say they've been, or like if you see them, I drive past one there, somebody says, man, I drive past him every day.
Mhm.
See him on my lunch break every day,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Are they making any money? Are people really giving? In your opinion?
They're giving, but here's the problem. You got to look at even if we make enough money for a place.
Mhm.
That's literally it for that night. Do you know if we raised $100, that goes directly to the hotel room? Now you're wondering, okay, well with that, okay, you should be able to get an apartment and all that. Well, yeah, to get that, but to get an apartment and all that, remember you got to fill out the application, have the job and all of that.
Yeah.
I've even had somebody pull up, why don't you get a job? Well, okay, I can get a job. Do you want me to have the same clothes on I have?
Wow.
Where am I going to take a shower and all of this? Nobody's thinking about
Nobody's
that.
thinking like that.
No.
And they say a lot of people think it's fraud. I'm sure some fraud going on out there.
It is because it's people out there like that. You even have people out there just like that guy. That guy had a warrant. Okay, you have people out there with warrants. And that's an issue right there that I feel. When you have, you're like, oh, Lord, the homeless moving over here, we're going to have an issue. Well, yeah, you're going to have an issue because, again, you have people all in the same bucket.
Yeah.
So those people in the same bucket, they need to get their assistance in those organizations. And then you have people with warrants that shouldn't even be out there.
Yeah.
So if we tend to that first, then maybe we'll have less homeless people out there and realize, okay, now those people out there, I know that person lost their job or they got kicked out the house or something, but they're not dealing with an issue like, alcohol or drugs. They shouldn't even be out there.
Shouldn't even be out there. Well, one of the most in-depth interviews I've had on this Face to Be show. Good Sunday morning to you. Listening to Face to Be show on 93.7 B in the building. Miss Justice Butler, film student, homeless advocate. We're talking about homelessness right now. Now producer and director of the film Invisible. It's a documentary focused on the nationwide epidemic of homeless students throughout colleges and universities. So you out there, how long were you homeless?
I was homeless for 1.5 years.
Okay. The day you said, I'm getting up, getting back on my feet, these homeless days are over. Take us to that day.
Here's the interesting part about that.
Okay.
That was the day that, and I'll tell you real quick, my journey with God. My grandmother passed away. I said, God, I hate you.
Yeah.
Went to L.A., soul searching. Came back around. By the time I got back to Houston, I cried. I told God, I love you. Now, mind you, I told people back in the day, I can never love anybody I can't see. So now I want to bring you to that because here comes the agreement I had with God. You know, I said, you know what, God? If I represent you, you're positive. So I got to be positive. So I tell you what, I'm going to make that agreement with you, you know, because I'm representing you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be as positive as I can, you know, as I can. And with that, you know, I know you got a story for me.
Yeah.
I know that because you took all this away so you can make this story happen. So I'm here for you. Just guide me, and I'm here to lead. So after that, this girl passed by, and I didn't know who it was. She started going off and talking about, go meet me over here. So I'm like, okay, well, it's somebody. I guess maybe they want to help me. It was a friend that actually I helped a long time ago.
Wow.
And she said, look, you need to go to Houston Community College.
Wow.
And she said, you know, you can get your, you know, your government loan and get in there, and that's going to help you, you know.
Yeah.
Do that now.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Film student. So you get the HCC. Why film?
Well, here's the funny part, because when I first came there and they said, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know, psychology, I guess. So I didn't even know.
I don't know. I just want to get out these streets, bro. But yeah.
And, you know, I was in radio, but, you know, I go back to when I was probably like 5 years old, and I always wanted to go into acting. And being out there in Los Angeles, I worked background a lot. I was on ERA, I met George Clooney well enough to actually I played basketball real well, so he would let me shoot basketball on his at his trailer. So being in film out there around it so much, it was probably just within me. And so something just after I went to HCC for one term, the next term I said, hey, I'm gonna take film, and that's how it happened. And they wrote a story about me. Actually, this person in the studio with me, Jamaica Mills, is the former editor-in-chief of Houston Community College. It's because of her story that it became literally, I guess you want to say, went viral to other journalists. Where out in Philadelphia, Temple University, they asked me to speak at Real College, which they have there, where they try to find means and ways of resolving this issue.
Justice Butler, film student now, producing and directing. I heard you said you felt invisible when you were on the streets homeless. Your documentary is called
Invisible because of that. I mean, if you really think about it, like I said, I never, until I became a part of that society, I never even looked with those eyes. And we are invisible. Like, I stood out there, you know, and people looked at me. I had fatigues on every day, okay? And I had people saying I don't look homeless. Maybe because every day I had a smile and I had a glow. You know, but I didn't look homeless. And I would go to motorists, hey, which one of those you think is homeless? And they'd point to people that are just hustlers and stuff like that. And I'm going, wow. Because I felt something, like, because these are the people that shouldn't be out there, and the motorists are giving to these people. So the people that really need it, we don't even get it because we don't know the hustle. They know the hustle. So they know how to get the money. We're just homeless.
Is there a bond on the street? Is there a street code between when 2 and 3 people are under the same bridge? Or is there a code, or no rules involved?
I mean, you know, like, if this is my area, this is my area. So, like, you don't mess with that. So it's just like the corners. You have certain corners. And you know, okay, from 5 to 9, they're going to be at the corner, or you'll communicate, hey, you going to be through? Yeah, you can take over then. So, everyone's mostly respecting out there, except the ones that shouldn't be out there anyway.
The film Invisible, how long did it take you to make?
Wow. How long did it take to make that film, Jamaica? It actually didn't take that long.
Okay.
When we decided to do it, I was in my documentary class, and I spoke to one of my classmates, Ryan Nitch. He's a great camera guy, and I liked how he was doing the camera. I said, hey, Ryan, you should, we should get together and do this, since my instructor, Richard Harrington, he had actually wanted the class to interview me when I came back from Real College.
Okay.
So that's how it kicked off, and then from there were a lot of different events. I said, hey, Ryan, come to this and film this. Hey, Ryan, Real College, they're coming to HCC, film this.
Yeah.
And
what kind of stuff can we see in this doc?
What you're going to see, actually, again, Jamaica Mills. Jamaica actually has had issues with homelessness in not only her adulthood, but her childhood. So you hear her talking about the issues. Jamaica is originally from Oakland, California. And you have Moses Belton, who's a pastor. And Moses is from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So, and Moses right now, he graduated from HCC, and he's at University of Houston, but yet he's still having issues with housing.
Wow.
So it's a break in the systems here that we're trying to, kind of fix, even at Houston Community College.
Yeah.
I try to be very vocal, and at least, now, I'm just this advocate of, okay, well, we're going to unite the students and the faculty. Since y'all say we united anyway, okay, well, we're going to unite each other, so they probably be happy when I graduate. No, I'm just kidding.
As you're talking, I'm thinking about the times I have seen somebody under that bridge or standing on the corner. When the seasons change, or if you move from location, you taking everything with you, or are you like, I'm going to leave this here, it's nothing, I'm going to pick up somewhere else?
No, you're taking everything with you. You're taking it everywhere you go. It's amazing how, you have some people, that really want to help, and I appreciate them wanting to help.
Yeah.
But they have I call it the Betty Crocker mentality, where they're the same people they used to helping on the weekend, or used to helping their neighbor or the poor person, but being poor and homeless is two different things.
Absolutely.
So, I even try to share with those individuals, you may want to experience it. Well, how do I do that? Well, stand there with a sign with nothing in your pocket and see how you're treated, That's one way of, experiencing that, so.
I used to be a reporter at one of the local TV stations here, and I just saw a story that was posted. I'm actually scrolling on it right now. They closed, the headline says, officials shut down homeless encampment near Midtown. This is Houston that we're talking about, right? And I think they call it Tent City, right? And when I saw that, I was up here at the radio station, and I was like, man, I can't wait to do this interview because I was going to ask you about it. But when if you don't understand what Tent City or Skid Row is, it's a community of homeless people that have gathered all of their belongings together.
Correct.
Yes?
Correct.
And this is pretty much your neighborhood. This is your dorm, basically. And they just pick an area. And I get the eyesore of it. But why would they shut it down?
Okay, now.
Versus try to build something for the homeless?
Now, because now, is this the Midtown by the...
I think it was on the corner of Caroline and Wheeler or something. Yeah.
So that's the one. It's actually in the documentary.
Okay.
Because they did shut down the one, downtown.
Yeah.
And we know why they shut that down, because that was too close to the World Series Astros stadium. So,
right.
But another thing you have to understand now, people that don't know.
Right.
Midtown used to be Third Ward. Third Ward has a lot of African American history. I need to let everybody know that, okay? Because with the gentrification and all that, that moved out. Then we have different people move in, and rich people now. Stuff that was way cheaper now, it's like rich people. Yeah.
Right.
So first of all, we need to understand that. So this is one reason we're trying to move the homeless out of Midtown.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that.
Move them where?
moving them where, and most of the people there, that's theirs. That's where they from. That's where they from. Where they gonna go?
Right.
This is where I'm from. I don't know where else to go.
Right.
It's just like I lived all the time on the southwest side of Houston.
Right.
So that's me. That's where I'm at. I don't go over to the north side because I don't know that area.
You don't know the area.
And then when I watch another 48, they always show Harris County and it's on the north side.
Right.
But no, that's a main issue right there.
I just looked at that whole thing and just the phrase "only in America" came to me. You know what I mean? Like, we could do something. We can create jobs to go clear out the homeless area. But you won't create a job to build up and say, okay, if y'all gonna gather right here, that's fine. We're not gonna help you. We ain't gonna feed you. You just gonna gather right here. Here, we'll build some walls around this and put a roof over it, and y'all just live in here. Why won't the city do something like that?
Let me ask you this then, Marcus. Okay, in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Fort Worth is paying $15 an hour.
Okay.
To the homeless people.
Okay.
To clean up the city.
Wow.
And they help them also get housing.
Wow.
Okay, so now this is Fort Worth. You know Fort Worth. This ain't even Dallas. Fort Worth near Dallas.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Fort Worth can do that, and then there's also another city in California that's doing that.
Okay.
So why can't Houston do that and any other city? Because you look at it like this too. The homeless, we're out there. So, okay, to clean the city, this is kind of like, okay, this is my home.
Right.
I've been out here living, so who's the best? Oh, I'm going to clean this probably better than the employee you have normally doing this anyway.
Right, right. I just look at it and I go,
there's solutions.
Where's the human compassion for human life? Somebody has tough times. Somebody could even be out there on drugs. It could be the bad situation. It could be an unfortunate situation. But if that's where they're living, you're gonna spend your time, money, and energy clearing that out for what? Move them where? And then you'll be mad if somebody gets to that point where they say, "Okay, I'm sleeping on your porch. I'm coming in your window."
But
right now, that's wrong.
True. So this is where part of the documentary comes in also.
Okay.
Okay. Because as Jamaica shares her story, Moses shares his story. I share some of mine, but allow my story to be shared through others.
Okay.
Just like Showbiz Mosley of iHEART Radio. Okay, now, in doing that, what it shows also is, because you hear Showbiz saying things like, yeah, we go back to radio back in our, you're like, what? She was in radio. So, I'm doing that in order so it can hit you. Hold up, this could happen to me. Mayday, mayday.
Yes.
This is what I want. So instead of trying to push people, you pushing your own self out.
Yeah.
Okay? Because all it takes is just something to happen to make that change.
Yeah.
Okay? A couple, a family.
Yeah.
All it takes is that breadwinner.
Yeah.
Be an accident. Okay, he dies. Boom.
Yeah. Fire.
There you go. Or look, we can deal with this. Hurricane Harvey. A lot of those people out there are homeless from Hurricane Harvey. So you gonna tell me they're not us?
Yeah.
But people don't look at them like that. They're out there now. Hurricane Harvey victims are out there, but people are looking at, okay, we ain't even talking about people, because guess what? People help more than the city government.
Wow.
Okay? I reach out to the people more than the city government because that's where I'm going to, that's who I can reach to.
Yeah, with compassion. Producer, director of Invisible, documentary focused on the nationwide epidemic of homeless students throughout colleges and universities. Justice Butler in the building. Hey. You got a social media, or how can we see this film?
Okay, well, I do have a social media. How you can see the film right now, you can see the trailer at www.nerdgangent.com.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm also at on Instagram, you can find me at DOAPNG. The NG, of course, stands for Nerd Gang. And then also...
What was their website again?
www.nerdgangent.com. Anyone wants to donate, just /donate, and there you go.
And if you're driving and you missed that the second time, I'll post it on the blog site right after the interview, so you better check it out there, just the trailer. All right, and you said your social media?
I'm sorry?
Your social media again?
The social media, the Instagram is DOAPNG.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Nerd Gang PRO.
Okay. We look forward to seeing. I know I'm looking forward to seeing this Invisible and whatever else projects that you got coming out after that, man. This is a story of somebody who had it, who lost it, who's gotten it again, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there in the air that's gonna take over this time around. All right.
By the way,
yeah,
we're working on Homeless and Awareness Week at Houston Community College, so keep that in mind.
Is there a Homeless and Awareness Week, or when is that?
That's we're working on that in March.
Creating one.
But we did have a screening, this past screening, in Los Angeles for Homeless Awareness Week at the University of Southern California.
Very nice. All right, good Sunday morning to you. That is the Face the Beat show. Catch the replay on 937thebeathouston.com. Under Marcus, some of your best interviews. I think this is one of my best. Stick and Stay, the Blessed Beat show is up next. All your positive vibes, your gospel music to start your week off with is coming up just around the corner. Don't move. It's the all new 93.7 The Beat. 8 sounds real hip hop and home of the Breakfast Club.